Big roasted. It's upside down. I know it is. Sorry. It was upside down. So, but I want to thank everybody. And as always, we have to thank everybody who has helped us. So that's Robert, who brings the pig, who does that stuff. To Vinny, who cooks all the other stuff, the brats, the hamburgers, the hot dogs. To Gigi, Mike, and Nick, who do so much when I'm at work. To Mike and Nick again for helping to build that awesome structure back there. So that we could clear off the patio with all the wood that you guys didn't see. So thank you to everybody, because this is something that obviously means a lot to us. We need to find a cure for Nick and for everybody who has type 1 diabetes. So why do we do this, and why do we host a pig roast of all things? What we do is, we used to do the walk to cure diabetes, right? And that's where you go to a park somewhere, you try and get your friends to donate a little bit, and you walk around in a circle somewhere around the lake or around the track or something like that. And that really doesn't accomplish anything. It might raise the tiniest bit of awareness, but that's not what we're after. We want to raise money so that we can find the cure for type 1 diabetes. Right, so what did I think? Back then I thought, you know, for everybody who supports us for the walk, why don't we invite them back to the house and have a big party and have fun to thank them, to show our appreciation with that. So instead of doing the walk, we found a much better organization in the Diabetes Research Institute and the Children with Diabetes Foundation. And those two places are trying to find the cure much more than any other organization that we used to support. So we're doing that. We are trying to raise as much as possible, and we help, and we're thankful for all of you guys who try and raise as much money as possible by buying the raffles, by coming here and giving the donations and having fun with us. And seeing people who you haven't seen for a couple of years, or maybe since last year. Like, we're proud of that, because a lot of people, we don't see people except for maybe once a year, and that's here. So we have 4 or 5 seconds to say hello, and then someone else is dragging us away to do something else. So we're really thankful, because we wouldn't be as successful at doing this if we didn't have all of you guys coming just about every year. So I want to thank you for that. Now, you've seen a couple shirts, like right now, there's a Power of One shirt that Sherry's wearing. Sherry's recording this right now, and she's going to struggle for 5 or 6 months to try and upload this to some kind of social media or YouTube. But she will. So what's the power of one? Like, when I worked at Mizuho Capital Markets, I knew exactly who to go to raise funds. I knew who would donate $500. And then I knew the 4 or 5 other people who would donate $500. That will be matched by the company. And then I knew all the other egotistical people who would see that $500, even though they were going to donate 1 or 2 or 300, and they would donate 500 because they didn't want to not be one of those top donors. And then we had a trader who always told me, Mike, come to me last, and he beat everybody, making everybody angry. So what's the power of one? I went to the IT department, so the technology guys, I would raise money from those guys, and they would, one guy in particular, some Russian guy, he's like, oh, here you go, Mike, I know what you're doing, and I appreciate that, and he gave me a $20 bill. And then he asked for $18 and change. And I gave it to him, and he felt bad, and I told him, I said, what if those $2 that you just donated are the ones that find a cure? It could happen. That's the power of one. I don't want you guys to think you can donate $1. Like, I'm not going to tolerate it. But that's that mentality, and that's important to us, because you never know which dollar donated is going to find the cure. So thank you to everybody. And that's all I've got. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Now, Gigi would like to say 4 or 5 minutes of stuff. All right, so now, Tony, why don't you come up? I want to introduce Tony. He's the big dude at the DRI of the Northeast chapter. So he's always here. He loves this event. He always helps us out more than any other organization ever helped us. So it's just because of the work that they're doing that we support them, but that he helps us the way he does makes it that much easier. So this is Tony Childs.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Thank you. I've never been introduced as the big dude before. So thank you, Michael. I'll have to tell everybody at the office. But actually, I feel like I'm Michael and Gigi's cousin, to be quite honest. over the time that we've been doing this, I've gotten to know the family, Mr. and Mrs. Otten, Nicholas, of course, Mikey's here somewhere, I know, I've been told, and even tonight, this is about the 5th year that I've attended this event, and I see a lot of the same people. I guess you're our second cousins now, because there's a tremendous amount of support for Michael, for Nicholas, for Gigi, and on behalf of the Diabetes Research Institute, I'd like to thank everybody who's here tonight. Michael mentioned the power of one, and it's true. One after another, and I can say tonight with the money that we're going to raise here tonight, Michael and Gigi have raised over $100,000 for the Gigi. That is very, very powerful. And the money that Michael and Gigi send and everybody donates goes down to the Diabetes Research Institute. It's located at the Miller School of Medicine in Miami. And what our scientists do, our scientists are led by Dr. Ricordi, who Michael and Gigi met 4 years or 5 years ago now, when they visited it. And Dr. Ricordi is really a world-renowned scientist, and he is leading a team of scientists to find the biological cure for type 1 diabetes. We know that we can transfuse the islet cells from a donor to a person with type 1 diabetes, and for a period of time, they don't need insulin anymore, which is really, really terrific. We've taken that concept, and I think if anybody's read anything in our newsletters, you've heard of what the BioHub, and the BioHub is a device that's going to mimic the native pancreas. Last year when I was here, I mentioned that we kicked off a big fundraising and communications event about the BioHub, and we had plans for it. This year, I could say that probably in 2 weeks, we're going to have the first human trials on a platform for the BioHub. And that's only made possible because of the people here tonight. People like you all over the country who are donating money, who are supporting the diabetes research. We're now at the point where we can actually do, and the key word is human trials. People have cured diabetes in mice, for years and years and years.
They're very lucky mice.
Yeah.
The families are so happy.
Yeah. But when we're talking about actually taking a part of the BioHub and putting it in a person, that's tremendous, tremendous progress. So for that, we thank you. My goal and Michael's goal and Gigi's goal is not to have this anymore, not to come back and to have one big party when I can come back and I can report that we will have a cure. And we will have a cure. Even since I've been involved with the Diabetes Research Institute Foundation, the science that we're doing, that other groups are doing, it's all leading to one place, and it's really leading to the cure for type 1 diabetes. So I'd like to thank everybody here today. I'll be around for probably the rest of the evening. If anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. I have a plaque, another plaque for Michael and Gigi. I don't know what they do with the other ones that I just know, but this is for your plaque.
Thank you.
So we can take a picture. All right,
Thank you, Gigi. Great. Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you very much. So.